I request the Commodore to come and speak first, then we will go on to the general.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, thanks to IESA for giving me an opportunity to interact with you all. Just a very small brief about myself so that you should know who is this guy, what is he about. I am a serving naval officer, I am a Commodore, presently heading a quality assurances establishment in Bangalore. I have served for 32 years in the Navy, served on board naval ships, 4 of them, for a fairly long time. I served in Naval Repair Yard, Naval Dockyard, Mumbai for 10 years. I've done 10 years in the Directorate of Naval Design in Headquarters, Eastern Naval Command, Visakhapatnam. And I'm in the business of quality assurances for the last 7 to 8 years. I've served as Director Naval Technical Group, presently heading a quality assurances establishment. And now I'm going to talk a little about what is the Navy's perspective plan, what is in store for the industry from the Navy's procurement point of view. Indian Navy, as per the perspective plan, wants to build a fleet of 200 ships by the year 2027. That's going to be a large number. Presently, we have about 137 ships. If you want to have a fleet strength of 200 by the year 227, you got to build a lot of ships, maybe 10 every year, because a lot of ships do get decommissioned because of age. Ship's life is about 30 years. So there is a lot in store. Now, if you see the fighting platform of the Navy, the warship, it has got 3 components. The float component, which helps the ships to stay afloat at sea, and the move component, which takes the ships to different locations where you want to fight the war, or exercise control, whatever it may be. And then the third and most important is the fight component, where your electronics will come into play. If you see the present Indian Navy, most of it, the float component has already been indigenized. We don't procure hull or design everything from abroad now. Most of it, technology is available, is made in India. And also move component, maybe 65% is indigenized. The engines come, the air conditioning plants, etc., etc. But it is only in the fight component, most of it is imported. 70% to 80% is imported. That is where the opportunity is there for electronics industry. Now I would like to further stratify this fight component, the electronics component that the Indian Navy needs. Believe me, gentlemen, the outflow could be in the range of $200 to $300 billion. It's a rough guesstimate from me. Now, if you talk about this electronics which is likely to be inducted by the Navy, in the field of power generation and distribution, we need a lot of electronics, power management systems, static frequency converters, power electronic devices, zero maintenance batteries, various types of motors, drives, ACBs, MCCBs, soft starters, electrical power systems, etc. And then moving on to the platform management systems. When I said the move component is indigenized, there's a lot of electronics go into that. The propulsion control, be it for gas turbines or internal combustion engines, steam driven, machinery controls, air conditioning and ventilation controls, automatic firefighting systems, flood alarm systems, etc. And the area of navigation systems, the gyros, which include ring laser gyros, fiber optic gyros, vertical gyros, accelerometers, logs, ship's logs, electromagnetic logs, echo sounders, navigational radars, associated displays, electronic chart displays, IMO stipulated safety systems, GMDS systems, a whole lot of equipment come in this range. Communication systems, which include communication sets in the complete frequency spectrum. It could be medium frequency, HF, VHF, radar frequency communication systems, SDRs, that is a niche area where the Navy is working on, internal communications systems. Gentlemen, the volumes are there in the internal communication systems also, be it just a ship's telephone, broadcasting systems, intercoms, etc., etc. Every ship gets huge quantity of internal communication systems. Underwater communication systems, it could be sound-based or it could be laser communication, VLF broadcast systems, VLF receivers, ship's data networks, portable communication sets, etc. Weapons and sensors, I would like to put it under surveillance systems and underwater and above water. surveillance radars, surface and air defense radars, 3D radars with electronic beam steering, fire control radars for missiles and fire control radars for the guns. Continuing with weapons and sensors, underwater sensors, you will need sonar systems, hull-mounted sonars, variable depth sonars, active towed array sonars, underwater weapon, fire control systems, underwater telephones, sonobuoys. Sonobuoys could be launched from ships, aircrafts, and submarines, torpedoes, decoys for torpedoes, and miscellaneous systems. Large number of miscellaneous systems are required, like aviation systems. Every ship carries an helicopter. Fighting ship carries an helicopter with it. And of course, we have our own indigenous aircraft carrier. Apart from UAVs, drones, ground electronics for naval airports, networking systems. Navy is moving rapidly towards network-centric Navy. A lot of networking systems, Internet of Things, IoT systems. And we also need a lot of simulators, training simulators. Most of the war, the training takes place on simulators. We need a huge amount of equipment are required for training. It could be ship handling, it could be weapon handling, etc., etc. And test facilities for electronics. All electronics which go into the warships, they have to be mill qualified equipment. Test facilities are very, very expensive. There are very few labs in the Navy which offer. I want to pitch in. I am heading a quality assurances establishment, and I have got a fully qualified testing laboratory, enable accredited for testing electronics to mill standards, JSS Penta, all the specifications we meet. So that is one facility which can be utilized by industry. In fact, in the last 2-3 years, we are getting a lot of payment testing for private industry also. We are extending the facility, utilizing the spare time. And also, I would like to touch upon briefly about the components and the building blocks. Nowadays, you take any system, not all of it is designed from the scratch. Most of the softwares are designed, system knowledge is there. The building blocks like maybe, power PCs, SBCs, memory cards, etc. They are all purchased off the shelf. You harden it, make it, or procure an industrial grade, harden it and make it mill specific and use it. So, as I see during a whole lot of inspections that we do, be in Bell or in other industries, we do interact with more than 25 to 30 private industries, a part of our testing where the naval orders are there. Most of the components, small discrete components of the PCBs, they are all imported. None of it is manufactured in India. Maybe this is one area, there is a large investments required, design and manufacture of generic PCBs, maybe a design of ICs itself, etc., etc. And development of large number of softwares. Software meaning it doesn't need to be a big software, system software at a very higher level. It could be a small embedded software, which FPGAs, etc., etc., which go at the lowest PCB level. There is a niche area where industry can interact and utilize. The facilities that I just want to touch upon, I have got in my own laboratory: climatic testing, high temperature, low temperature, thermal cycling, salt corrosion, mold growth. Dynamic testing includes vibration, random vibration, shock, IP testing facilities. These are the facilities which are there in my lab. This is all in brief I want to talk to you. Thereafter, after that, maybe you can ask me any questions, whatever we can share, we'll do that. Thank you very much.